banishing the stigma into who swingers really are and the stigma associated with the swinger lifestyle is one thing that I, Rosie K, open relationship coach and ethical non-monogamy expert, have become very familiar with. And challenging common misconceptions is one reason why I decided to start ThisKindaGirl.co.uk in the first place. Now, nearly 3 years into my endeavour, and it appears that my work is not yet done. And in this video, I am going to be sharing 5 of the most popular myths and misconceptions about swingers and the swinger lifestyle. Now, I'm sure you're all going to be quite familiar with these. Perhaps you hold these beliefs, perhaps you used to hold these beliefs, perhaps they're things that you've said or heard. So, without further ado, let's get straight down to it. Now, if I could, I would cue some dramatic music and reappear in a cloud of pink glittery smoke and my trademark pink and black outfits that I usually wear when doing all things this kind of girl, but I'm not. So let's get straight down to it and talk about 5 popular myths associated with the swinger lifestyle. Now, number 1, misconceptions about swingers. Everybody has an opinion about swinging or thoughts surrounding who swingers really are. And if you've watched any of my YouTube videos, you'll know that I always aim to educate people as to who swingers really are, because swingers are ordinary people with regular jobs, with regular houses, with regular lives. They are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, husbands, wives. They are just like you and me. Okay, there's nothing different about them. The only difference is that they have decided to have an ethically non-monogamous relationship. They still go through all of the trials and tribulations that people who have monogamous relationships go through. Their only difference is that maybe in a few areas of their lives, they don't face the same difficulties, but they still have mortgages to pay, they still have children to raise, they still have, work stresses and worries and all these things that we are all used to. The only difference is that they are ethically non-monogamous, and you may be surprised as to who in your social circle is actually a swinger. So that's number 1. Number 2, swingers don't love each other. Now, this is one which I've heard time and time again. Being a swinger does not mean you don't love each other. It doesn't mean you have some kind of, sordid sordid desire. It doesn't mean you wish to cheat on your partner. It means that usually, sometimes around once a month, couples who are swingers like to go to a club or meet with other swinger friends and maybe enjoy being intimate with them if that is what they are looking for. It doesn't mean they're looking to replace their partner. It doesn't mean they never love their partner. It doesn't mean they don't cherish their partner. It doesn't mean they are looking to replace them or that their partner's not good enough. What it means is that they've decided mutually that they want to explore, usually, intimate things with other couples or other people. It's got nothing to do with whether or not they love each other enough or whether or not they are enough. Okay. Number 3. Swinging is a free-for-all. I've made quite a lot of content on this topic recently, and I wanted to include it in this video here for you now. So, is swinging a free-for-all? No. So many people have asked me this over the last few years, and it is worrying to think that swinging is thought of in this way. I have never been to a club, a party, or an event where free-for-all swinging was being practiced. Okay, there are events where there may be group activities or, people may be more, I'm going to say, fluid in what they enjoy, but it's not a free-for-all. You don't grab somebody else's partner. You aren't paired off with another person and you don't just suddenly get involved in the action. I am sorry to disappoint you, people who message me asking, can I expect free-for-all action in a swingers club? But the swinger community does not condone this type of behavior. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. You've probably watched too many movies. You've probably had too many fantasies around that kind of thing. It simply doesn't work like that, all right? Yes, there may be group activities. I have to be careful what I say. There may be group activities happening, but consent still needs to be sought from the person you want to get involved with before you get involved. The reason I say this is because if you want to get involved in a group activity, you need to ask the person you want to play with, not their husband, not their wife, not the person next to them. You need to ask the person themselves, because can you imagine being in that position yourself and having somebody simply come up and do something to you which was not on your agenda? You wouldn't like it. So therefore, why would you do that to somebody? Just because they are in that environment does not mean they are down for anything. Number 4, keys in a bowl. That old chestnut. Do swingers put their keys in a bowl? No. In a word, no. Again, never have I attended a party where guests have placed their keys in a bowl. It's an urban myth, and one that, in my opinion, belongs with pampas grass and tacky upside down pineapples, and that is in the bin. Number 5, my final one, and probably one of the most commonly thought misconceptions. Men force their wives into it. These are 2 statements which I have heard in recent months. The first being, she must be being forced into it, and the second being, she's only doing it to keep him happy. Have you ever thought those? Have you ever heard those? Have you ever been referred to as one of those? I have. Swinging is a form of ethical non-monogamy, and it is ethical as it is practiced without coercion and without deception. All parties are aware of the relationship dynamic and agree that they're happy to be involved in whatever that capacity is that suits them. Ethical non-monogamy is the practice of having relationships or enjoying intimacies outside of a traditionally monogamous relationship. I'm not saying that there aren't instances when one partner is doing something to keep the other person happy, and I've been there and I've done that, and it's not a good feeling. But most genuine couples who enjoy the lifestyle practice ethical non-monogamy. They both know what they signed up for. They're both in agreement. They both have rules and boundaries. There is no coercion. There is no deception. And many people within the lifestyle are extremely adept at spotting others who are perhaps not involved for the right reasons. I hope you've enjoyed this video on the top 5 misconceptions of the swinger lifestyle. If you'd like to find out more about this topic, if you'd like to find out how the lifestyle really works, then do please click on the description for this video below, because you will find a link to an article I wrote called How Does the Swinger Lifestyle Work?, where I dive into all of these topics in a lot more detail and also talk about getting involved, advice I share with clients, and also finding people online versus clubs and all these things that help you get started. I've really enjoyed filming this video, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.